Yo guys, welcome back. Today we're going to cover updates to Serena's Purge 30 build and also a Serena build for the challenge levels of Purge 31 to 35, featuring restored Relic and Malevolent. I've been getting the constant question, Sen, what mutant cell do I put in Serena Purge 30 build? And well, the answer is none. In my test, the only option would be defense neutralization, which ends up being a damage loss. So we see no mutant cells in either of these builds. The main reason for the update to the build is to show the restored Relic build for challenge stages. And second, we will showcase one of the many broken mods currently in the game, the main two important ones being Fire and Fiesta and Payout, as they are the most relevant to the content. I would also like to give a brief update about the channel. As of now, we are waiting for Component Core's release before I will do any new build videos, and that comes on June 19th, along with the Descendant balance. At that point, I will be revisiting many Descendant builds with mutant cells and Component Core updates. If you're looking for builds till then, I'm live every day on Twitch, and happy to show any build you need. We will also be live for the dev stream and live for the Component Core update launch. Link is in the description for my Twitch. We also play other games, including Monster Hunter Wilds, Elden Ring Night Rain, and most recently we got to test the Vindictus Defying Fate Alpha, another Nexon game, and we will be streaming a lot of Stellar Blade. So come stop by. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So let's talk about a bug in the game currently that has been in the game for a bit now. It's kind of ridiculous that it hasn't been patched. So hopefully if I call it out in this video, it will be patched, because it really is detrimental to the leaderboard, which they seem to take a lot of pride in. You know, it seems to be their thing. I think the leaderboard at this point is ridiculous with the cheaters, just the way the combat is in this game right now and how easy it is. And then once again, we have another bug in the game that is going to affect the leaderboard, and boy, does it ever. So it's very simple. Basically, any gun mod, ultimate gun mod that you see that has a cooldown on it, well, this can be bypassed just by switching weapons. So let me give a quick example here. I'm going to reload my weapon. And now I have Firing Fiesta procced. Firing Fiesta is up. I'm going to switch weapons, come back, reload my weapon, and once again, Firing Fiesta is back up. The cooldown gets negated as soon as you switch weapons and come back to the weapon. So now, once again, we'll do another example, and it's going to be with Malevolent. And this one has really affected the leaderboard. If you're looking at the challenge leaderboard, basically every character can take advantage of this. Kill a group of mobs, switch weapons, you already got this back, hit your weak point, boom, you're basically Glay on any character. So let's give an example. We'll proc it, we'll shoot, we'll wait for it to run out, we'll switch weapons, we'll come back, we'll shoot, we'll proc it. And I'll do it again, just in case you missed it. Kind of ridiculous. Please fix. So first we will do the Purge challenge build, which is going to be for 31 to 35. So this is similar to what we would run in Purge 30, but kind of not. Big thing here is to make sure, of course, that we have our cooldown and our duration here, so we can loop R4, as that is what is doing the majority of damage for us. So to do that, we are using Nimble Fingers with MP Conversion and our 2 focus mods, so we can get as much cooldown out as possible. We're stacking our HP with HP Amp and increased HP. I do not recommend Stim Accelerant here, as MP is very important to staying in the air, and staying in the air is very important. For MP, we're using MP Collector, so you do not have too much of a trouble here, and you do not have to build into skill cost at any point. There's one place we are doing that, and that's going to be with our external components. And then for the rest of our mods, we're running 2 duration mods to keep our 4 looped, and then we are running the 1 range mod with maximize range. Now let's get into our reactor. I do have a fully maxed out reactor here that's fire singular. None of that matters. Your mounting does not matter. Your skill power boost ratio does not matter. The only important thing here is that you are getting your skill cooldown and your duration up, so you can loop your 4. And now for our external components, we are running the full ascending set. This is very important, as we are getting the skill cost from the 2 set, and the 4 set is helping us get rounds for our restored Relic, which is also very important. On your auxiliary power, you want to make sure you have your max HP, MP recovery out of combat. For your sensor, max MP recovery in combat. For your memory, MP recovery modifier in defense. And for your processor, just make sure you have max shield. Having the MP stats on this is very, very important, as we do want to stay in the air for the whole time we were in there. So let's get into our Arche tuning. Now we are using the Restored Relic, and we are building that for multi-hit. So we are going to be going the multi-hit route here. So we're coming over to the left. The weak point is going to be basically for our Malevolent or our Last Dagger from when we were shooting the boss. Other than that, we're coming over here for the weak point, the enhanced multi-hit for multi-hit chance, multi-hit damage, and then over here for some more multi-hit chance. Then we are building into her HP, as her fourth ability, Skill Power, scales off of her HP and not skill power. And then for the last pick, we're going to go with MP Recovery modifier here. This is very, very nice for making sure we can stay in the air. As I've said many times, that is very, very important. Now, for our Inversion reinforcement, we're going to be picking the rounds that match the stage that we are on. This is a simple pick for whatever stage you're going to. This will help you a lot, so make sure you're switching these. And then we're going to select Selective Neurostimulation, once again for the MP. And then we're taking Aerial Maneuver and Rating. We will be in the air the whole time, so we will be getting this bonus the whole time, and we are building our Relic into multi-hit. So now let's get into our weapons. First up being Restored Relic. This is how I have built it. There are some other variations you can do. I found this one to be very comfortable. You can drop that third toxic attack for another fire rate. I would suggest that if you're looking for going for speed clears. But unless you really know the layout of the stages that you're going through, and you know how many to shoot, you might get into a point where you're just wasting ammo on accident. So I would suggest to go with the 3 toxic, 2 fire rate to start out with. And then for your substats, you want toxic attack, multi-hit chance, bonus fire attack versus Legion of Mortality, and explosive attack. Now, let's get into the mods. Like I said, we are building into multi-hit here. We are still also building into firearm attack. So we have our 3 firearm attack mods with action and reaction, charge, amp, and rifle and reinforcement. For our multi-hit, we have multi-piercing sights and multi-percussion sight. We are building into radius here with increased radius and ammo optimization. Then to deal with ammo, make sure that you have expand high power magazine on, which is going to max high power rounds plus 50%. Then you want to use a enhancement that's going to match the stage that you're on. And of course, we have fire rate up. Now for your Malevolent, which is really good against the bosses in the challenge stages, especially because it deals with the mobs as you go. So this is a triple fire rate, toxic with firearm attack on the cores. And for your substats, firearm attack, bonus firearm attack versus Legion of Darkness, and toxic attack. And I have rounds per magazine, but you can also go with weak point for that substat. And then for the build, we are using payout. Then we are using our firearm attack mods, our fire rate up, 2 weak point mods, and then your 2 element mods. Make sure you match those to the stage you are on. And then we're just using vibration absorption to help with our recoil. This gun kicks back a lot, especially when you build into all that fire rate. And that mod definitely helps a bit. And now for our Last Dagger. Very simple, what we usually see for Last Dagger here, except I've gone with toxic core. You have your 2 firearm attack cores, your 2 fire rate cores. For your substats, firearm critical hit rate, weak point damage, firearm attack, and firearm critical hit damage. Now for our module setup, firing Fiesta here is a must. We're going to be taking advantage of that. And then we are just going into our crit damage, our firearm attack, our 2 element mods. Make sure you're matching your element mods to where you are. Weak point sight with ultra precision strike. If you're not comfortable with ultra precision strike, you can just simply replace that with have aiming. So now we will go over the Purge 30 build. This is going to be your group setup, which is going to feature Passionate Sponsor. You do not want to run Passionate Sponsor if you are soloing. There is no point. Other than that, not much has changed from the old build. We're still building into range. We're building into duration. We got our cooldown and our HP. So once again, we want to make sure that our duration and our cooldown match up so we can loop our 4th ability, which they do with this build. As you see, different from the 35 build, I have 22.9 second duration here instead of 24. And that is going to be simply because I am using a cooldown cost mod. Since they fixed a bug with her wings, a little bit of cost is helpful. I would also suggest if you're playing with a Lepic, you can take the range off and then put maximize conservation for your skill cost. As far as your external components, you're going to go with 2-piece ascending, once again for the skill cost, and then 2-piece shell crusher for the fire rate. Now, of course, on your auxiliary power, make sure you have your max HP, MP recovery out of combat. For your sensor, max MP recovery in combat. For your memory, defense and MP recovery modifier. And for your processor, max shield with whatever you want for the second stat. And as you can see, right now we're at 31,000 HP. So we're going to go into our arcade tuning, and this is what we have selected. We are coming down here for our HP. I do get the weak point here for when we're using Last Dagger, specifically on Greg. Adds a ton of damage. And then we are coming into Overwhelm, because with our Last Dagger, we are matching up against Legion of Darkness, which is going to proc on them. And then after that, for our Last Dagger, we're building into the critical hit rate, the critical hit damage, and you're coming over here to get your enhanced firearm attack node. And now for your Inversion reinforcement, of course, you want chill rounds. We're doing Purge 30. You want strike point amplification, and you want aerial maneuvering rate. Now, for our weapons, very simple. We use Last Dagger. We don't use anything else. Best gun for this by far. You can use Malevolent if you like, if you don't like to fly, but I will not be covering that today. Just refer to my older videos with the Malevolent in it. My meta weapons video guide, which was posted about a month ago, and there will be a new one of those coming up very soon. For your cores, I go 2 rounds per magazine, 2 firearm attack with chill attack. You could do 1 rounds, 1 fire rate if you would like. And for your substats, weak point damage, firearm attack, firearm critical hit damage, and chill attack. Now, as far as our mods, we are using Firing Fiesta, Overwhelm, our 2 critical hit damage mods, our 2 weak point mods, our 2 element mods. And yeah, that's that. Really nothing different to there with that build. And as far as the restored relic, this is just good when you get the shield boys in the first room. Pop those shields real quick on them. Sometimes that room could be a real bitch because they're all just cluttered up in there and you're trying to find the elite. So a good strat that a lot of people do, specifically speedrunners, is when you're coming up to the first room, just blast your restored relic at that room. And after that, you can basically run by because everything is going to be dead. And that covers everything for the updated Serena Purge builds. Any questions or suggestions about the builds, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe is appreciated. Thanks, guys. Peace.